So I'm Sharon Zakaria and I'm a second year program manager in Delhi. What has changed about Shivani is again just her internalization of how that achievement gap really pans across, right? And so she doesn't just plan for say RC or writing or math, right? Her plan and her vision spreads across science, writing, Hindi, what they need to be doing at home, right? And I think and she ensures holistic growth of her kids, right? And you can see that, so you can see them achieving in whether every content area, like be it Hindi, science, writing, right? Like her writing data, for example, might not look very, very strong, but I also feel like the writing pieces, if you read, like they will really blow your mind. I feel like they compare to what a grade 5 high income student should write about, right? She's extremely self-critical, and then she's really, really critical on her kids. So those numbers, I don't feel like represent where they really, really are. So I feel like they are definitely in comparison or on the path, I would say, to be at grade level in all aspects very soon. Currently, they've say from mid of last year to, so year 1, mid-year to end of year, they made say a 0.9 years of growth versus a 0.3 before that. And again, from this BOY to MY, again, they made a 1.3 years of growth, right? And that's almost 3 to 4 times the average that 5th graders have across the Delhi city or across the country. There were several months in the second year of a fellowship where Shivani was teaching a Hindi medium classroom. She had to leave her own kids. She had 2 hours and she had to leave her own kids for an hour, teach another classroom because one, there was no teacher there. She was not able, there was no teacher there was no learning there, and she knew that there was learning happening in her own classroom. So just the fact that she had to spend a lot of time there, she would leave her kids on their own, and they would work independently, show all the HEART values, and they were completely independent. It used to freak me out when she said, no, my kids are independent for an hour, but when I used to walk into that classroom, they were really exemplifying independence within the classroom as well, and all 40 kids, right? And it's that really rigorous shared reading that say one of the many things that really, really pushed her kids, and with that independence, complete independence, they've made 1.3 years of growth from say a BOY to an MY. So it's not completely Shivani led. I feel like that to me is enduring impact because it's independent of Shivani. If I think about current absolute levels, 3/4 of her class of her 38 kids are above developing 2, and what that tells me is that they're all on track in terms of the goals she set for them, which is extremely ambitious, and they're all independent in terms of their values and in terms of their own awareness. And they might not be, say, at grade level, all of them, but they've definitely inculcated what it needs to be independent. So I know, and I can see that independence demonstration. So there's values which I firmly see being demonstrated with or without Shivani, right? Same in terms of when I think of exposure and access, I was talking to you about the personal vision and their strengths and their own self-awareness, right? So kids now go back to the community without Shivani having to tell them. They are, say, they're actively trying to solve problems that they feel in the community that impact them and their community, and they're trying to work upon that. So for example, Damini, she identified alcoholism as one of, and she talked about it in the student video, right? She identified alcoholism as one of the challenges that was holding her back, and that was a challenge in her community that she felt really needed to be worked upon, and she's really been able to leverage her strengths and work upon her AODs, and also at the same time independently demonstrate all of this beyond the realm of her classroom, and actually create, say, posters, talk to, invest people in her community, and they've actually, because they've been so embarrassed or they've understood the reality of the situation and why, if a child can come and tell you that, they've actually internalized that this is something that won't cut it, and they've really been able to, she's actually been able to have impact on adults.